What's going on, you guys? Decided to catch up on today's news. There were some really big Slytherin and Matrix Games announcements today. We're going to go over that right now. Have a nice cold beer next to me. I'm hoping you have one. If not, have a, it's 8 o'clock in the world somewhere, right? All right, the first one. They announced a brand new DLC, the first DLC of Armor Brigade, which will come with two new factions, Italy and Yugoslavia, lots of new units, new maps, and a free update to the campaign generator tool. Let's take a deeper dive into this. All right, let's dive right into it. So this is the first expansion pack. It's a Italy Yugoslavia expansion pack for Armor Brigade. Let's start. Following World War II, Italy has struggled with negative memories of defeat and mediocre performances, long laboring under the stigma of failures and incompetence. Merely a remnant of the past to be forgotten or was expressly rejected in the constitution, but the creation of NATO meant that the Italian armed forces were quickly reorganized and expanded within a totally different international framework than before. Preparing for a feared invasion from the east, likely via Yugoslavia, Italy played an important role in the Mediterranean. Still, the country's strategic culture, a mix of realpolitik and pacifist tendencies, severely impacted its military policies. The Italian army, at first glance, might seem under-equipped compared to its NATO peers. However, it should be noted that they were supposed to defend a well-fortified and mostly rugged mountainous terrain on the eastern border. Moreover, quality of units varied significantly across the army. Some were better trained or better equipped, for example, the famous Alpine Mountains units troops or selected armored and mechanized brigades. Nonetheless, a player might still feel being undergunned or lacking in certain aspects, so his armored, mechanized, or infantry force should always reinforced by strong support assets. This also means a great care should be given to mobility, flanking engagements, and emphasizing maximum use of terrain cover, providing for a challenging and dynamic playstyle. On the other side of the fence was Yugoslavia, geographically situated between a NATO anvil and the Soviet hammer. Hold on, I need to take a beer break. Sorry about that. And the Soviet hammer, the prospect of invasion would permanently dominate Yugoslavian strategic plans, particularly since witnessing the Warsaw Pact intervention in Czechoslovakia in 1968. The Yugoslav military doctrine focused on combining its large field army with the guerrilla experience of the partisans in World War II. In planning, this would entail the armed forces to conduct conventional warfare along a nationwide front, buying time for reserves and general population to mobilize. Small territorial defense units would engage beside regular troops in their local areas, emphasizing mobility and light anti-personnel and anti-armor weapons. Because armament parity with likely opponents, both in quality and quantity, was hard to achieve, Yugoslav tried to use limited national defense resources in the most efficient way, rarely, if ever, squandering even the most obsolete weapons. Units in the game, as well as combat tactics, reflect this strategy. Yugoslavia is a well-balanced, all-around force that will perform satisfactorily in every field, but not always excel. Hence, a combined arms approach is extremely important when facing technological superior forces. And while the center of gravity of the Yugoslav army are infantry formations that are highly varied, logistically undemanding, and survivable, armored and mechanized are certainly capable of making it tough for any adversary. All right, so let's take a look at some of these juicy screenshots. So this is our first dive. Now, I am a huge fan. Wow, look how big that map is. Holy shit. So we have Northeast Italy. Wow, nice. That's a huge amount of terrain. Wow. Developers have been working overtime. And then this one. All right. So we got to look at some of these units. Let's take a look at some other things. So features a nation pack with 2 new units. We know about that. Over 250 units and aircraft from 65 to 91. Wow. We're going to get that many EDV-4, the M4A3 Sherman, the M36 Jackson, and a new map covering 61 by 61 kilometers of area around the Yugoslav-Italian border. This is beautiful. The game just came out a few months ago, and I'm just kind of like stunned that we're already getting there's a DLC kind of along the way. I'm not stunned. I mean, the developer kind of told me in the podcast I do with Historical Gamer that they're going to do DLCs. I just well, I'm just happy to see it. I just wasn't expecting it so soon, I guess. I don't know. I knew they had to make an announcement. I'm assuming the release date says it's coming soon, so I'm hoping. I mean, it's going to be 2019. Just a question of summer, fall, maybe winter. I doubt it's going to be winter. It's probably going to be summer or fall. When they say coming soon, I'm hoping that means a summer release. All right, let's take a look at the other stuff that they announced. All right, so this is the other announcement. Fantasy General 2, the reimagination of the strategy game classic from the 90s.
The centuries pass. 300 years since a brave hero's army struck down the Shadow Lord, banishing him from the world of air. 300 years and heroes become legends. Legends become myth. Myth fades from memory. But now, thunder whispers in the east. A new empire rises, clad with might and splendor, conquering the earth with magic and iron. But darkness rides with them, and shadowy tendrils reach across the land. A power that twists reality and threatens our world. Once again, Air calls for a hero to unite it against a terrible foe. A general to forge a powerful army. A general to lead them into battle. A general to defy the coming storm.
Oh, shit. Wow. All right. So let's take a look at this. Fantasy General. Wow. Available 2019, so this is wow, this is close to release. It's in beta. Join the beta. Wow. All right, or at least they're close to beta. Wow. It's a reimagination of the strategy game classic from the 90s. Army once again draw battle lines of the war-torn land of Caledonia, and the new generation of commanders will test their bravery and tactics against each other. Fantasy wargaming is back. All right. Wow. All right. This is. Do they have any screenshots of what it's gonna look? Yeah. So that's what it's gonna look like here. Let's see if I can get a. Wow. Nice. That's beautiful. It's almost like a inspired, like it's a mix between Field of Glory and Civilization. That's nice. That's beautiful. Man, look at that environment. Holy shit. Wow. That is beautiful. Wow. Yeah, I gotta admit, the beauty of the terrain is gorgeous. Wow. So to be honest with you guys, honestly, back in the 90s, I didn't play a lot of Fantasy General. I was more of like Panzer General, and I think Allied General. I remember playing that game a lot. I think that's the exact name of it, but I'm definitely gonna give this a shot, just because the animations, the terrain, everything looks beautiful. That looks incredible. I can't wait to get my hands on this. This actually looks really sick. Let's take a look at some of the features here. So there's a campaign battle after battle. You will need to make decisions to develop your army. Young clan members will need to be trained as they gain enough experience. Even the greenest recruits can be turned into champions. Battles. True to the tradition of the original game, Fantasy General 2 is all about turn-based battles. Lead over 75 different unit types, including powerful heroes, taking into consideration terrain, weapons, armor, magical effects, morale, and balances of forces. You also make a plan, execute it, and vanquish your enemy. Nice. The most powerful realm of the face of Aerface, Aerface, the mighty legions of the Empire and their magical creations, from dragoncans to golems, as well as the undead hordes they bring to battle or fight harpies, lizard people, and great dragons on your way. Ooh, that's nice. The world of Aer is filled with beauty and wonders, from the cold, magic-rich highlands of Farreach, home to the players' barbarian clans, to the borderlands with the fertile river valleys and the deep woods where witches and monsters still roam free. Oh man, I really want to play this game. There's so much stuff here. From like witches to like, where was the other? Undead hordes, dragons, that's pretty sick. Alright. From the sunken land submerged through the great cataclysm and filled with treacherous swamp and lizard folk, to the refined temperature empire to the south, home to wondrous cities and built upon undead labor. Wow, this feels a lot like Lord of the Rings, and I'm a big fan of that, so I'm gonna love this. So honestly, guys, this was a really awesome day for Slitherine. Slitherine definitely, I definitely make waves today, because I know Fantasy General is gonna like blow everybody's mind, because I remember that was a big thing back in the 90s, and you know, everybody was playing. It was epic back then. And honestly, me personally, guys, Armor Brigade is what I'm most excited about. I know some of you guys like, dude, Fantasy General, but look, I love Armor Brigade. I love the devs behind it. And just for them adding all these new units, this massive map, I'm so motivated about this DLC. Fantasy General, I'm definitely gonna get into, because just that going through that description there was pretty sick, with the stuff that I'm gonna encounter from dragons, undead hordes, all that cool stuff. That's gonna take it up a notch, you know. So yeah, this is gonna be really cool. I can't wait. This is gonna be an amazing year for Slitherine and Matrix games. I'm motivated. I can't wait. I can't wait to put this on my wish list. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you then.